All right, so we're diving deep into diamonds today.
Oh, cool.
It seems like you've been chatting about a potential diamond crisis here in the U.S.,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got some articles, one about the Israel Diamond Exchange and another about lab-grown diamonds.
Yeah.
So let's try to put all this together and figure out what's really happening with these sparkly little stones.
Sounds good.
One of your articles, the one from Middle East Eye, talks about the Israel Diamond Exchange facing a crisis.
Mm-hmm.
It says that exports have dropped, significantly this year.
Well, you see, Israel is a huge player in the global diamond trade.
Oh, okay.
They're a major exporter of both rough and polished diamonds.
I see.
So when their exports go down, it kind of signals something bigger happening in the whole industry.
That makes sense.
And the article specifically mentions the war on Gaza, saying that it's made international buyers hesitant to do business there.
Yeah, I can see why.
Yeah.
On top of that, there's also the global market slump we've got going on, right? Impacting sales in major markets like the U.S. and China.
Uh-huh.
Is that what you were talking about when you mentioned the diamond crisis in your chat?
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like you were particularly interested in the situation here in the U.S.
Right.
And the impact of those sanctions on Russia.
Those are definitely having an effect, yeah.
Russia supplies, something like 35% of the world's rough diamonds?
Wow, so even though the U.S. isn't getting diamonds directly from Russia, the sanctions still matter.
Oh, absolutely. They create this bottleneck in the supply chain.
Oh.
Driving prices up and making it harder for retailers to get their hands on diamonds.
I get it, like a ripple effect.
Exactly.
But your chat also mentions China's demand for diamonds going down.
Yeah.
It says they're choosing gold over diamonds these days,
Mm-hmm.
and that their diamond market size is shrinking too.
Right. You've hit on a really important point. It's almost a tug of war,
Okay, how so?
On one side, you've got the sanctions pushing prices up, but on the other, you've got this decreased demand, especially from a huge market like China.
Bringing prices back down.
Exactly, pulling prices down.
So then what's the overall effect?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
I guess so.
Unfortunately, there's no simple answer.
Oh, okay.
The impact really depends on how these conflicting forces play out. For example, if the demand in China keeps dropping, it could potentially offset those price increases from the Russian sanctions.
Wow. So trying to predict the future of diamond prices is a pretty tough job.
It really is.
It sounds like there's a lot more to it than just how sparkly they are.
Absolutely. And we haven't even considered lab-grown diamonds yet.
Oh, that's right.
They add another layer of complexity to the whole thing.
You have an article about that too, right? About the lab-grown diamond boom potentially ending?
Yeah.
That was kind of surprising me. I thought they were getting super popular.
Well, they were, and for good reason.
Yeah.
I mean, they are more affordable.
True.
They address, a lot of the ethical concerns around mining, and you can even tell the difference between them and natural diamonds with just your eyes.
So why is the boom ending?
Well, that initial surge in popularity led to, a flood of lab-grown diamonds on the market,
right?
Which drove prices down. And the article predicts they could fall even further, maybe even 50% to 80% more.
Whoa, that's a lot.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that make natural diamonds more attractive again?
There are signs that's happening.
Interesting.
Yeah, some people are kind of rediscovering the appeal of natural diamonds, especially the ones with rare colors,
Yeah.
They appreciate the history, the unique imperfections, and the fact that each natural diamond is totally one of a kind.
Yeah, it's like they're looking for something with a story, right?
Exactly, something authentic.
Speaking of stories, your chat brought up a really interesting point about the perceived value of diamonds. You're asking why they're so expensive if they're not actually that rare.
Well, that's where we start to unravel the carefully crafted illusion of diamond scarcity.
Oh, I am intrigued. Tell me more.
For a long time, companies like De Beers, they've controlled the diamond supply, right?
Oh.
They basically release diamonds into the market very strategically to create the sense of rarity and drive up demand.
It's all about how people see them.
It's all about perception, exactly.
I bet that Diamonds Are Forever campaign played a role in that too.
Absolutely. That marketing magic was brilliant.
Yeah.
It linked diamonds with love and lasting value, and those ideas really stuck with people.
Wow. So it sounds like the high price of diamonds is as much about marketing and almost market manipulation as it is about how rare they actually are.
Precisely. And understanding this is super important for anyone who might be thinking about buying a diamond.
Okay, so we've covered a lot, from global conflicts to economic trends to marketing and even the science behind lab-grown diamonds.
Yes.
It's crazy how all these things are connected and create the diamond market we see today.
It really is a fascinating world, and it sounds like you're starting to see how complex it really is.
I definitely am. But before we move on, I am curious what you think all this means for someone like me.
Sure.
Someone who's thinking about buying a diamond in the near future.
Okay.
What should I be aware of?
Well, the diamond landscape is definitely shifting, so it's a good time to be informed.
Okay.
First off, I'd say understand the differences between natural and lab-grown diamonds.
Okay.
They both have pros and cons.
You're right. Seems like I need to think about more than just what looks pretty.
Exactly.
So what are some of the key things I should consider?
Well, for starters, your budget.
Okay.
Lab-grown diamonds are definitely cheaper,
Yeah.
often costing way less than a natural diamond of a similar size and quality.
That's definitely appealing. But is there a trade-off when it comes to value? My chat mentioned that lab-grown diamonds might not hold their value as well as natural diamonds.
That's a valid concern for sure. The long-term value of lab-grown diamonds is still a bit of a question mark.
Right.
Natural diamonds, especially rare ones, they have a long history of holding their value.
Okay.
Whereas lab-grown diamonds are, they're relatively new.
So if I'm looking for an investment, a natural diamond might be the safer bet.
Possibly, yeah.
Okay.
But, if your priority is just getting the biggest, most brilliant stone for your money, lab-grown could be a fantastic choice.
True.
And then there are the ethical considerations, too.
Yeah, that's important to me.
It is for a lot of people.
I like the idea of a diamond that's conflict-free and environmentally responsible.
Right. That's a growing sentiment among consumers.
Hmm.
Many people are just uncomfortable with the environmental and social impact of diamond mining.
Yeah.
And lab-grown diamonds give them a way to avoid those concerns.
So it sounds like lab-grown diamonds tick a lot of boxes, they address the ethical concerns, and they're easier on the wallet.
Yeah.
But I'm also sensing that there's something special about natural diamonds that goes beyond just the price tag.
I think you're picking up on something really important.
Yeah.
There's a romance and allure associated with natural diamonds that's hard to replicate.
I see.
They've been formed over millions of years deep within the earth.
Wow.
And each one carries this unique story.
It's that sense of history and rarity, isn't it?
Exactly.
Knowing that your diamond is one of a kind.
Yeah.
Something that formed long before humans were even around.
Right. And for a lot of people, that story, that connection to nature's grand design is incredibly valuable.
Yeah, I can see that.
It adds a layer of meaning that a lab-grown diamond, for all its brilliance, just might not have.
So let's say I've weighed the pros and cons and I've decided to go for a natural diamond.
Okay.
What should I keep in mind when I'm actually shopping?
That's when it's crucial to choose a reputable jeweler,
Right.
someone who prioritizes transparency and ethical sourcing.
Hmm.
Don't be afraid to ask questions about a diamond's origin.
Okay.
Its certifications, its journey from mine to market.
So like a diamond detective. Looking for clues to make sure my diamond is as ethical as it is beautiful.
Exactly. A good jeweler should be happy to answer your questions.
Okay.
And provide you with documentation that traces the diamond's whole journey.
That makes sense.
You want to make sure that what you're buying aligns with your values,
I never realized buying a diamond could be so involved.
Yeah, it's quite a process.
It's like you're buying a piece of history, not just a piece of jewelry.
That's a great way to put it. And honestly, that's part of what makes diamonds so fascinating.
Yeah.
They're not just pretty stones. They're a window into history, geology, economics, even human psychology.
You're right. We've been talking about diamonds for a while now, and it feels like we've only scratched the surface.
We have.
It's amazing how these tiny objects connect to so many bigger issues and ideas.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
The diamond industry is really a microcosm of the world. It reflects global trends, political conflicts, even shifts in consumer values.
This brings us back to the diamond crisis we talked about at the beginning.
Right.
The sanctions on Russia, the global market slump, the rise of lab-grown diamonds. It's like all these forces are kind of colliding and creating a sense of uncertainty in the diamond market.
Exactly. And while we can't predict the future of diamond prices with absolute certainty,
Yeah.
we can say that this is definitely a time of transition for the industry.
Okay.
Old assumptions are being challenged, new technologies are emerging, consumer preferences are evolving.
So what does all this mean for the average person just trying to navigate this sparkly, sometimes confusing world of diamonds?
I think the key is to be an informed consumer.
All right.
Understand the forces at play, do your research, ask questions, and ultimately, make choices that align with your values and your budget.
I like that. It's about taking control of your diamond destiny.
Exactly.
Not just blindly following trends or accepting the status quo.
Right. And who knows, maybe as you delve deeper into this world, you'll discover that the most valuable diamond isn't necessarily the biggest or the most expensive.
That's an interesting thought. Is there something else out there that defines a diamond's value?
Well, that's something to think about.
What could that be?
Well, for some people, it's the story behind the stone.
Okay.
They're fascinated by the journey a diamond takes.
Oh.
From its formation deep within the earth, through the mining process, the cutting and polishing, all the way to its setting in a piece of jewelry.
So it's about the journey, not the destination.
Exactly.
But with a diamond instead of a destination.
Exactly. Each step of that journey kind of adds to the diamond story.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
The geological forces that created it, the human hands that shaped it, the emotions it evokes.
Wow.
All of those things contribute to its value.
That's a really beautiful way to think about it.
Yeah.
It makes me realize a diamond is so much more than just a sparkly object. It's a symbol of something bigger, something that connects us to nature, to history, to each other.
And that connection, that sense of meaning, it's something that can't be measured in carats or dollars.
Right.
It's what makes a diamond truly precious.
I'm starting to see why diamonds have captivated people for centuries. There's a depth and complexity to them that goes beyond just their beauty.
And as we've seen, the diamond industry itself kind of reflects that complexity.
Yeah.
It's a world that's constantly evolving, responding to global shifts and changing consumer perceptions.
So where do you think things are headed? What does the future hold for diamonds?
That's a question that sparks a lot of debate.
Oh, really?
Even among industry experts.
Okay.
Some believe lab-grown diamonds will eventually dominate the market. Offering a more sustainable and affordable alternative to mined diamonds.
But then wouldn't that make natural diamonds even more exclusive? Almost like rare antiques or works of art?
That's certainly a possibility, and as we discussed, there will always be those who value the history, the uniqueness, the natural beauty of a mined diamond.
So maybe the future of diamonds isn't about one type replacing the other.
Right.
But about both kind of coexisting.
Exact.
Each appealing to different values and priorities.
I think that's a likely scenario.
Okay.
We'll probably see a more diverse diamond market with options for, every taste and budget.
Yeah.
And ultimately, the choice will come down to what resonates with the individual consumer.
I think you've given me a whole new perspective on diamonds.
Good.
I'm definitely going to be looking at them differently from now on.
I'm glad to hear that. Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to making informed choices.
Well, I feel empowered and enlightened after this deep dive.
Great.
Thanks for guiding me through this sparkling world of diamonds.
You're welcome.
And helping me understand the forces that shape it.
It's been my pleasure.
And remember, everyone, the world of diamonds, like the world itself, is constantly changing.
That's true.
So keep asking questions, keep exploring, and keep discovering the stories behind these captivating gems.
I agree.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah.
And until next time, keep sparkling. So for some people, the value is in the story behind the diamond.
Yeah, the journey it takes, from way down in the earth, up through mining, then the cutting, the polishing, all the way to being set in a piece of jewelry.
So it's not the destination, it's the journey.
Exactly. And each step adds to the story,
I can see that.
The forces that made it, the people who shaped it, the emotions it brings out.
That's kind of deep.
All those things, they all add to its value.
It really makes you think about diamonds differently.
Yeah.
It's more than just, it's sparkly.
Right.
It's like a symbol of something bigger, connecting us to nature, history, even each other.
That connection, that meaning, you can't put a price tag on that.
No, you can't.
That's what makes it truly precious.
I get why people have been fascinated by diamonds for so long.
Uh-huh.
It's more than just the looks. There's so much depth to it.
And the whole industry reflects that, It's always evolving, responding to changes all over the world.
So where do you see things going? What's next for diamonds?
That's the big question.
Is it?
A lot of debate about it, even among the experts. Some think lab-grown diamonds, they'll take over eventually.
Okay.
Because they're more sustainable, more affordable.
But then, wouldn't that make natural diamonds even more special?
Possibly.
Like they'd be super rare, like antiques?
Could be, and we talked about how some people really value that history, that natural beauty.
Right.
So maybe it's not about one winning, but both existing together.
Oh, interesting.
Different diamonds for different people, different values.
Yeah, makes sense.
We'll probably see more variety in the market.
Right.
Options for everyone, no matter what they're looking for.
It'll be up to each person to decide what matters to them.
Exactly.
I feel like I have a whole new understanding now.
Good. That's what we want.
I'll never look at diamonds the same way again.
Knowledge is power, right?
It is.
Especially when you're making these kinds of decisions.
Well, I feel empowered, that's for sure.
Good.
Thanks for taking me on this diamond deep dive. It's been fascinating.
You're welcome. Happy to share what I know.
And for everyone listening, don't forget, the world of diamonds, like our world, is always changing.
Mm-hmm.
Keep learning, keep exploring, keep finding those stories behind the sparkle.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep sparkling.